All right, well, Lawrence, Garrett Wilson goes 9 of 10 for 90 yards with 2 touchdowns. Fantasy-wise, I'm not sure there's many takeaways. Like, you're starting Garrett Wilson every single week. It was great to see Davante Adams as well, who goes 7-11 for 91 yards and a touchdown. I think the story isn't so much either of these guys individually. It's the fact that in the same game, they were both able to put up massive stats.
And that's what we wanted them to be. This is what we expected of them when they first got Davante Adams. So now you're kind of seeing what this offense should look like. You still see that Breece Hall ran for 74 yards on the ground. So the offense, not in the beginning, but it started to look like what you would expect this Jets offense to look like. So when Davante Adams first got to the Jets, we said, oh, they're both, wide receiver 2 range. And that's when the Jets were playing bad. If they could play like this, then you have no problem starting them every week. Now, Garrett Wilson nor Davante Adams has to catch a touchdown every week. We just want them getting that volume. Both guys, double-digit targets. Note, Allen Lazard is out for the next 4 weeks on the injured reserve.
And I think they've got a shot at this. Here's their upcoming schedule. They're at Arizona next week, and they'll have 10 days to prepare for that. Cardinals are a plucky defense, but still nothing that truly scares you. Then they're home to the Colts. They've got a bye, and then they're home to Seattle. So the next 3 games are against pass defenses that I think will have a lot of chances. And then you're at the Dolphins, okay. Then you're at the Jaguars, home to the Rams. Honestly, Week 17 at the Bills is the only defense that truly scares you. The Dolphins have played plucky, but they may be out of it by then. They, candidly, probably already are as well. So there's a chance. I have one of my good friends who's a diehard, woe is me Jets fan.
Was it Connor Rogers?
It's not Connor Rogers. It's not Connor Rogers. Connor's more optimistic than my friend. I don't know if he wanted me to say his name, so I won't. But I'll just say I was talking to him before the game, and he says, "Oh, we're winning tonight and guaranteed." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Oh no. We're guaranteed. We're going to run the table until we get to Jacksonville. We'll be 6-8, he goes, we'll get there till Jacksonville, and we'll be like 6-8, and we'll be in the mix." He goes, and then we're going to lose to Jacksonville, and our season will be over. That'll be what we'll be competent, and everyone will be like, "Oh, they're in the mix. They got a shot. They're back." And then we're going to lose to Jacksonville. That's what my Jets friend says. We'll see if that comes true. But one thing that is clear is that, to your point, Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams both absolutely fantastic. I think you're going to have to rank Garrett Wilson over Davante Adams moving forward, just as you're thinking about sort of potential trade value. Since Week 5, Garrett Wilson is the second best wide receiver in fantasy football on a points per game basis. Amazing game, as we mentioned, 9 for 90, the 2 touchdowns, 30 fantasy points. Do you know who owns him in the League of Assholes?
Not me.
Yeah. Do you know who?
Producer Pete.
Backup producer Pete. Backup producer Pete. Do you know who backup producer Pete is playing this week?
Is it Matthew Barrett?
Well, of course it is. Of course it is. Of course. Of course, Garrett Wilson, who's been fine, he's been good, he's been solid. But when he plays me, 9 for 90 and a catch of the century. Of course, that's an 8-point play right there. Just that one right there. Of course, I'm down 30-0. I haven't even started a player yet.
I think you have this way of trying to will your fantasy team to wins through, sympathy or the seeking of it.
Big woe is me guy, Matthew Barry. He loves the woe is me.
I don't know why.
Big complainer.
I don't know why it works sometimes.
Yeah.
It didn't work against me.
Yeah. Well,
no, it did not work
I
against
had
you.
Jaleel McLaughlin, but it worked sometimes.
It didn't work against you. It didn't work against the great slappers.
No.
Man.
Well,
and Connor Rogers wiped the table with me. I'm 0 for 3 on the table. I got to get to Sunday when I beat George.
Well, see, the fantasy guys was protecting us because the fantasy guys knew that we couldn't hear that. We can't, like me, Connor, and Jay. We had to get you, but everybody else, you good versus them.
But I will say, Jay, in my defense.
Okay.
In my defense. Because as you guys know, I'm the defending champ of this league.
I think
in my defense, while I admit I am absolutely a poor loser, I am also a poor winner. You'll agree to that, right? I'm also a poor winner. Yeah. So it's not like you say I complain, but I also gloat. Like, honestly, I'm just obnoxious start to finish.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
No, look, it's a big few months in America, and a big part of that is we need to take you down in this fantasy league. We cannot have you going back to back.
Hey, it's Matthew Barry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.